Starting on the left-hand side of the map, we got Rotti, still as Protoss, and his opponents. Finally, random Zerg. Alright. This should be interesting. To be honest, PiG, maybe not on his A game so far. Like, big supply block in game number 1, and I don't know, it was weird, you know, he didn't get any turrets, didn't fly the CC to the third base. He could definitely have sold the strategy a little bit better. And game number 2, that pylon thing, definitely needs to get a little bit more in the zone if he wants to be able to take out one of the finest from the casting scene.
Yeah, I honestly would like for PiG to play a bit more cheesy when he gets Terran or Protoss, because I think in a normal macro game, Rotti is a big favorite, right? Rotti is 6.2k right now in Europe. I'm not sure what MMR PiG has, but he's, I think, around 5.7k maybe on NA. Not sure how that translates, but I think in TVT and in TVP and PvP, I think RotterdaM is the favorite for sure when it comes to the macro game. So I'm very excited actually to see PiG randoming Zerg here. I think this should definitely be the best out of the 3 games.
I like the adjustments from Roddy, by the way, because in every game he got ready in case there was going to be a Zerg. This game was no different. He made pylon on the low ground, and he was going to get a gateway, and then he saw the Overlord with his scouting probe on the map, and he was like, well, I don't even need to make gateway, I'll just go Nexus first and then make my gate. So it's definitely some very good adjustments already and also like good preparation, you know, like beforehand you need to know in StarCraft what you're going to do, and he was like, well, I'm going to play against random, so I need to make sure I'm warning off and all that. Very nicely done.
Yep.
What's your thoughts on the way the spawning pole looks while it's building?
What? The way it looks?
Yeah, when it's building. Like, you know, like it was like you see like the spinning drone inside, like.
Alright, yeah, no, I think the animations are all pretty cool. I think they look all a bit worse if you have low graphics, so I'm usually playing on low graphics because I'm trying to get as much FPS as possible.
Yeah.
But yeah, StarCraft in general looks so much prettier when it's on high quality. I'm sure you're streaming on high quality.
Yeah, I'm on ultra.
Your monster PC.
But the death animations are bugged actually, for some reason. A lot of units, they just kind of disappear. I looked into it, some people have this bug.
Yeah, I don't know, I think StarCraft can look very beautiful, but StarCraft is a very demanding game on PCs, especially because I'm playing a lot of late game. In late game, it's very important to have high FPS.
Yeah.
And I just can't. If I put the graphics above medium, it's 10 FPS max.
What graphic card do you have?
I think 1060.
Okay. Okay, what about build orders here?
Yeah, this is the Rotti standard build. It's the Nexus first into the Glaives, and it's gonna be a double Stargate follow-up most likely. Sometimes he follows up with Dark Shrine first. But he's been doing this ever since they played the last time already. So ever since 1 year ago, this is how Rotti likes to open. It's very special. Very often we see him sending the first 2 adepts across the map. Sometimes he does not, and then I think he's just gonna take a third base.
Yeah, that pylon at the top here definitely could allow him to reinforce, like surprisingly, like if PiG's counting on his units out on the map to spot this attack coming.
Yeah. Which
definitely
you
could be tricky.
Do.
Yeah.
That's usually what you do as Zerg, is having one Zergling in front of your opponent's base to see when your opponent is moving out and with how many units he's moving out.
But also usually pro players, they check every corner of the map for a probe and pylon.
I mean, you see with the first Overlord that the probe is not coming back, and then you check. If you... Otherwise, there's no real... Like, usually you can always see if a probe is leaving the base, if you're on top of your stuff. But PiG, I don't think, is realizing that, and we saw that... Oh! Actually, the Zergling is gonna scout it. No, is it? It's gonna be very close. The Zergling at the top.
Yeah, I think he's gonna see it.
Oh my god.
Well, I mean, if he warps in, unless Roddy has some sixth sense and he warps in like close to the edge. But yeah, right now, I think he's warping in at home actually. Maybe for the later warp-ins. Maybe he's saving that pylon for the Dark Shrine later.
By the way, I think his Zealot is a bit to the front of the wall, so I think there's some Zerglings that can slip by there, potentially. Yeah. But yeah, this is exactly the build I was talking about, and I'm sure that PiG knows that this is Rotti's go-to style. I like that he's going Ling Bane instead of Roaches. I think it's better against what Rotti is doing. Defending the adepts with just Ling Bane, and then it allows you to drone up as heavily as possible while also going to a good queen count. I think the next thing that is very important once you realize you're playing against Phoenix is bring back your overlords. He has a lot of overlords on the edges that could potentially be picked off. So I think that's the next step that Pick has to do. And he actually saw that there was already one gas on the third base. So I feel like this talks a lot to the double target as well. Now he actually sees the Phoenix as well with the first overlord, and he should know what he's up against.
And +1 attack immediately starts. One thing I really like about Roddy's style is that guy does not care for mutas. Like he's playing Phoenix with air upgrades all the time. Like he wishes you would go mutas.
Yeah, if you're having trouble with muta, just copy Roddy's builds, and you're never gonna.
And you're gonna lose to Hydras all the time, but never think about mutas.
Yeah, but oh, Pick is actually he set up a nice counterattack with a bunch of banelings. That's enough to bust the Zealot, but Roddy actually has a double wall there, which means you cannot bust it with with banelings. However, oh man, you're seeing where these adepts are standing. Perfect unit positioning here by RotterdaM. Really well done.
The
At
4
the same time on the
horsemen.
other side. Yeah.
That was amazing.
Two adepts in the main base, getting some drones as well. Very good turnover runs for RotterdaM.
Oh yeah, you got 8 drones. Wow, that's insane. And now those Phoenixes get free reign too.
Look at Pick's drone count. I think at this point of the game you want to be at least on 70 drones if you're playing against 2 Stargate Phoenix. But since Pig made so many Lings and Banelings, and then even lost some drones, he's not where he wants to be in terms of economy.
Thank you, Bel Air StarCraft with the raids. And we had Dictus as well with the sub. Thank you so much, guys.
Rotti actually moving out now with the first few adepts.
And this wasn't spotted at all.
Yeah.
He barely has any units. He's droning up. Because he lost drones, Pig's droning up.
Yeah, exactly. He kind of has to drone up. If he makes units right now, it's... I mean, he kind of has to make units, but at the same time, he needed to drone up at least to this point. And now it's rough, because every time he will try to go there with Banelings to save his fort base, the Phoenix can just pick up the Banelings. So I think Rotti should just stay where he is right now with the adepts and cover and stay in between the bases with the Phoenix, which is exactly what he's doing. I'm expecting him to pick up the Banelings now. Yep. Oh, good pickup. Doesn't miss a single Phoenix.
Yeah.
And now actually finishes the Shade. Wow, super well done by RotterdaM.
And he's gonna clean up here. He's killing a lot. Even if Pig defense, he's already taking a bunch of damage here today. As the Phoenix is covering that 4th hatchery that's being sniped by one single Dark Templar here. In the meantime,
that's what you talked about yesterday. The Dark Shrine, just for trying to force a cancel on the 4th base, and now he's going in, trying to lift the Phoenix, the queens, and he's actually getting all of the queens. And this is just looking like a typical snowball scenario where the Phoenix are getting out of hand.
oh my god, he's gonna kill so many drones, and now the overlords as well. Rotti in full control here. He's already killed so much. Resources lost almost 5,000 to half that for Roddy. And he's going straight into carriers.
This was the match I was looking forward to most today, actually, and it looks like a very one-sided sweep here. Like every single game, RotterdaM just dominating from start to finish, and Pick is floating a lot of money now, and I think the only thing he can really do is make a lot of drones and make a lot of spore crawlers to come back into this game. But I mean, there's already a carrier transition on the way, and no infestors or corruptors to be seen. He just now started the infestation pit and the spire, and he only has a bunch of melee upgrades. Still adepts going into the 3rd base, killing more and more drones. And honestly, I wouldn't even complain if I would see Pig just quitting the game here.
He's still gonna try. 17 drones dying, and that brings Pig down to 69 walkers to 66 now, and far inferior income to what he should have. What is he supposed to do to try and come back? I guess like super turtle, right? Maybe like infestor spores.
Infestor spore drone is what you should do right now. That's the only way to come back. All the Hydras are useless. He actually has around 3 spores per base. On the 4th base even 4. So Rotti is starting to lose some Phoenix, but the only way you ever beat this carriers, I feel like, is maybe with Nurdle you can try Burrow, going for Burrow and then Infestors, because RotterdaM does not actually have a Robo. It's about to finish now, but no observers out yet. So that's one of the comeback mechanics you have against Skytoss, but yeah, he's in a rough spot for sure.
What do you think about the fire on that fourth hatchery?
It actually irritates me.
Yeah?
I'm thinking about putting off the skin because I tend to transfuse the hatcheries more, even if they're just on fire and nothing is close to them.
Yeah. That's pretty sick. Alright. Roddy posturing forward here with his army. Feels ready to fight. Damn, I gotta say, whenever I have 4 carriers and this kind of army, I'm super scared to go across the map. But Roddy always so crisp with his timings. I guess he does play these kind of styles a lot, so he's very familiar with it, but yeah. Pig barely has anything for him.
I mean, it's one very important skill in StarCraft to know where you're at in a game. It's one very underrated skill, which isn't easy, but every time casters talk about decisiveness in players, it is usually the skill where you say, okay, I killed this and this many units, I killed this and this many workers, my opponent can possibly have this set of units right now. So even though 4 carriers and 10 Phoenix itself looks very scary to move out with, he's in a prime position to actually do it. And we can see it reflected here in the trades he's taking. He kills a 4th hatch, kills a bunch of Hydras, just losing a bunch of Phoenix, not even a single carrier, just trading for interceptors.
And 2 DTs on the top left hand side went to work, by the way. Like the pylon got sniped by a bunch of links finally, but those DTs were like, not a single one of you is gonna get out of here. Those carriers have +2 attack. Roddy is such a master of this style. Look at the supply! For Christ's sakes.
Yeah. The supply really telling the story here. And
double the army.
Yeah, this is no low-tech army as well. This is the late game that every Zerg is afraid to play against, even if you're maxed out yourself. In this case, all PiG has to fight against is a bunch of Hydras and 5 Vipers on the way. His main army really is Spore Crawlers in this case.
Is it me or those Hydras look really beefy with the skin?
I think they look really cool. I'm not sure about beefy.
The Edward Scissorhands Hydras.
Yeah, they look scary. But they actually aren't that great.
It's funny, Pig, I feel like he wants to do something, but he can't do anything. He's like moving forward with his advice, he's like, wait a second, I'm losing this game really hard, I gotta go and sit back next to this force and there's nothing, nowhere I can move right now. He needs to hope that Roddy will make a big mistake, like attack into mass force, but even that might just kill Pig anyway.
Yeah, I think he's gonna try to abduct the carriers one by one because there's no High Templars here yet, but there's, I think, not enough DPS. As soon as he will abduct the carriers, he's just gonna go in with the...
I think Parasitic Bomb might be better, but on the carriers.
Yeah, I guess it doesn't make that much damage on carriers. One trick you can actually do against carriers is you abduct one carrier and then Parasitic Bomb the carrier you abduct and then go under the carrier with your army. So the interceptors are on top of the carrier and the interceptors will die to the Parasitic Bomb.
I see.
But yeah, I don't think there's a chance here to pull off anything like that. RotterdaM is reinforcing with more Phoenix. He has a Colossus on the way, he has a Disruptor on the way, he's styling on him, honestly.
Yeah, depth shading all over the place, gonna go straight into the natural Pig, trying to react and clean this up. But Rotty, he wants to eliminate Pig twice in a row in the Casters tournament in the round of 8, and I think he might be able to do it with his massive carrier army. Which is just superior upgrades, about to get +3 now. Good abduct here by Pig.
80 workers killed so far. He's abducting the carriers, okay, he manages to finish off one, but there's just not enough damage here in Pig's army. And there's not enough mining to counteract the Protoss Skytoss army here as well. Yeah, 2 Gosu. GG, well played. RotterdaM with a